Hello and welcome to the WRFL Weekend Preview. Andrew Wilson here along with Peppe Cavalieri. Welcome, Peppe.
G'day, Willow.
Let's start round 7. TIV Division 1, Deer Park taking on St Albans. The Lions look to consolidate their place in the top 4 as they take on the Saints coming off the bye. A win for St Albans, though, will see them back in the hunt for a finals berth.
Yeah, plenty riding on this one, Willow. The Lions have sort of hit their form, as you mentioned, won their last couple. So they need to keep that going, obviously trying to finish as high as they can. So I'm going to go with Deer Park.
Yeah, Deer Park for me as well. Hoppers Crossing take on Altona. It's a match of the round in TIV Division 1, with the winner moving into outright second place on the ladder.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game, Willow. Probably a genuine toss of the coin. I'm going to go just with Hoppers Crossing. I just got a feeling at home they might just have enough. I think it'll be pretty close. Couple of goals max either way.
Yeah, real tough one to pick. I'm going to go with the Vikings on the road to win that one. Sunshine host Caroline Springs, and the Kangaroos were no match last week against the Woodsman, and it's going to be even harder this week as they take on the undefeated Lakers at home.
Yeah, you're right, Willow. The Lakers are looking really, really strong, 6-0. You wonder where their first loss is going to come. Don't like to talk about that when a team's going really well, but inevitably it does get to that point when they just keep winning and winning. They've got a real sense of Deer Park back in their heyday about them, Caroline Springs. I don't think for the past few seasons we've seen a team look so dominant and so clearly above the rest of the teams. I think the last few years it's been quite even. Caroline Springs are looking really ominous, and I think they'll win tomorrow.
They'll win easily, I think, as well. So big call, though, putting them against the mighty Deer Park.
It is, but at the moment, that's how they look. They look good.
Yeah, they do. Werribee Districts host Yarraville 7. The Tigers are desperate for a win after losing their past 2 games. This week they take on the Eagles, who were competitive in their loss against Deer Park last week. Yeah,
it's going to be a really big game. Huge for Werribee Districts, as you mentioned. If they don't win, they'll be 2-5, and then they're really scrambling, Willow. So, look, I'll tip them. I think they'll be too strong for Yarraville 7, but the Eagles have been really competitive so far this year as well, so it should be a good game. Yeah, it should be a good game, but I think Werribee Districts will win that. And the final game is Point Cook taking on Spotswood. The Dogs suffered a big loss last week to the Vikings, and the Woodsman found some form last week with their win over Sunshine. Yeah, you're right. So the Woodsman back in form last week with a big win, but they need to keep it going, just string a few games together. I think they'll be too strong for Point Cook, but obviously they need to get that confidence up. Yeah, Woodsman to win that one. That was TIV Division 1. Now round 7 in Division 2. Albion take on North Footscray. Poor kicking cost the Cats last week against Newport, while the Devils can consolidate their place in the top 4 with a win this week. Yeah, as you mentioned, poor kicking from Albion last week. Well, 12 goals, 21. They had a pretty handy lead at half-time and then... Three-quarter time? Three-quarter time, sorry, but were overrun. But yeah, 12-21, only 11-point loss in the end, so I feel like they'd feel like they perhaps could have or should have won that game. So I'm going to tip them against North Footscray, but I think this will be close too because the Devils are hitting some form too. Yeah, it's a real tough one to pick this game, but I'm going to go with North Footscray to win that one. Glenorton take on Newport. Both sides will be desperate for a win to keep their finals hopes alive. The Hawks were well beaten by Parkside last week, while Newport showed a bit of spirit in their win over Albion. Yeah, another really good game and a really tough one to pick. Nearly every game in Div 2 this weekend is... You can make a case for both teams. I've just got a feeling about Newport this weekend. Well, I don't really know why, but I just have a feeling. And they got a good win last week without some key players as well, so that was impressive. I just think maybe just against the Hawks. I was on Newport. I was on Albion last week and Newport got the job done. I can't get Newport right this year. I'm on Glenorton this week, so we'll see how we go this week. Point Cook Centrals take on Parkside. This is our match of the day on 88.9. Win FM. So tune in from 1:30, and this is 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head. It's going to be a really good one. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it should be a cracking game between really good quality football teams, Willow. Both coming off significant victories last week. Sharks 194 points, Magpies 133. So obviously they're both playing some really good football. You just get a sense that the Sharks are just on another level, and I think they'll win. Yeah, I think the Sharks will win that one as well. In the final game, is Wyndham Vale taking on West Footscray. The Falcons had their 3-game winning streak snapped by the hands of North Footscray, but they should bounce back this week against the winless Roosters. Yeah, you would think so, but it sort of depends on which West Footscray shows up, because we know that they're capable if they play well. Obviously, if they produce the same sort of form that they brought last week, they're not going to get near Wyndham Vale. Yeah. But if the West Footscray that held or that were in front against Parkside for 3/4 shows up, then they're a real chance. So it's hard to say, but I think on the balance of everything we've seen, you got to go Wyndham Vale.
Yeah, Wyndham Vale for me as well. Now, round 6 in Alan Mance Motors Division 3, North Sunshine take on Sunshine Heights. The Roadrunners were no match last week against Albanvale, and it'll be another tough game as they host the Dragons, who were beaten last weekend by the Brookers.
Yeah, obviously the Brookers are a good team this year. But the Dragons would have learned a bit from that game, I feel. They're probably the 4th best team in Division 3 at the moment, based on what we've seen. So last week will have been a good learning curve for them early in the season. I think obviously they'll be too strong for North Sunshine.
I agree, Sunny Heights to win that one. Suns take on Auburn Here we go again with another 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head. Both the Suns and Cobras come to this week's game after big wins last weekend.
Yeah, another one, similar to some games in Div 2, really tough to pick. Probably the 2 best teams in Division 3 at the moment, and it looks like, based on what we've seen so far, I think the Suns may be just a cut above. But we'll get a good look at both these teams this weekend, and we'll get a sense of who is the cream in Division 3.
We will. I'm going to pick the Suns in that one. And the final game is Taree taking on Braybrooke. The Titans come off the bye while the Brookers were impressive in their win over the Dragons.
Yeah, Braybrooke, if they're going to finish sort of top 3, which they want to, obviously top 2 is ideal. They can't be dropping games like this, and I think they'll be too good for the Titans.
Agree, Braybrooke to win that one. Laverton has the bye. And that was Alan Mance Motors Division 3. And this has been the WRFL Weekend Preview. Good luck to your team this weekend.